What is up, Underdogs? It's your man, Jordan Reigns at 50 Shades of Drunk, Cardi B of IDP if you are on Twitter. Going to be doing the Week 12. Going to be just doing some Week 12 fantasy football for you all on Underdog. Going to be doing an episode of the Underdogs show. Just going to live stream. Nothing too crazy, but going to live stream a few drafts for the Thanksgiving slate, talk about how I'm approaching it. On Underdog Fantasy, going to do a couple, like I said, a couple of drafts. Got some money on there from this weekend. And yeah, we should be on tomorrow with Dave, but hopefully you can enjoy this show, learn a little bit about how I'm looking at this slate, and we can get you guys some money in Underdog. So let's get it going. So what is up, y'all? My man Dave Kluge not here tonight. Maybe he'll join me later. I don't know. Maybe he'll see this on his stream and feel guilty, hop on the show. Maybe he won't. We'll have to see. But in the meantime, thanks for joining me. Do me a favor. Smash the subscribe button. Smash the like button. If it is your first time watching the show, this is the Underdogs. We do fantasy football content based around the Underdog fantasy platform. So today what I'm going to be doing, or tonight, just hanging out. I'm going to do some drafts. They have several different contests going on this week. Let's just go ahead and pull it up. All right. Jump right into the slate. Oh my gosh. I don't know why the background and all this stuff is terrible. All right, here we go. So this week, they have quite a few contests and tournaments because we are looking at the Thanksgiving slate. So we're going to have a 3-game slate on Thanksgiving. They have 3 different tournaments available. They have the turkey, the Battle Royale turkey. They have the Battle Royale cranberry sauce, Battle Royale stuffing, and they have a Battle Royale leftovers, which I didn't even see. I guess that is the Sunday slate. So we're going to be doing the Thanksgiving slate today. So it looks like we have the turkey is going to be all 3 games, and then they have 2 single game slates. I like the single game slates, but the prize pool for both these single game slates is pretty small. $20K for the stuffing, $10K for the cranberry sauce, and $50K in prizes in the turkey. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the teams that I've already done for these drafts and kind of view how I, the initial drafts I did earlier this week, how I kind of approach things. So let's take a look at this first team here. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, they don't show me, they won't allow me to see like the draft. I'm not really sure how to do that. So that might be on me, but let's take a look at this draft. I put David Montgomery and Ezekiel Elliott. You can tell I pretty much heavily favor the running backs here. I went double running back. Hunter Renfrow, Cedric Wilson. I'm not excited about either of those, but I really am going to try to prioritize David Montgomery on a lot of teams this week. The snap share this last week was extremely high. Sure, the touches weren't super duper high, but it was a weird game. So I'm going to chalk that completely up to a mulligan. I haven't forgotten who and what David Montgomery is. And he is kind of, I think a lot of people are going to play DeAndre Swift, rightly so. I feel like you can pivot off of that and wait a little bit. So, and get a guy like that and stack him with Zeke. I really like that team. Let me see here. What are the... One second, be right back. Oh, sorry. Dog wanted something. All right, let's see where we are here. This other team, I managed to get Zeke. I think I reached early and got Josh Allen. He's very highly projected. Kind of let people down in fantasy the last 3 weeks. People won't say that, but I mean, you're not happy with 11, 21, and 18 points from a guy whose weekly projection is like 26 points. but we know he's got it. It's Thanksgiving. I'm going to pay up for Josh Allen where I can. If I think I can put together a good team with Josh Allen at the helm. And I'm going to tell you something I'm going to be doing a lot of this week. I'm going to be stacking Josh Allen with Dawson Knox, especially in the turkey. I'm going to try to make that my primary stack. I'm not going to go out of my way to get Diggs just because he's been a little bit hit or miss this year. And I feel like having a difference-making tight end could really, that's a stack I like. When we get Dawson Knox this last week had some really outlandish numbers as far as targets. 10 targets. I heard he had a couple of drops, but even so, 80 yards. There's not a lot of tight ends that can even – that's even the realm of outcomes. Let's just put it that way. So that's kind of how I attack the turkey. I'm probably going to have a lot of Carr or a lot of Josh Allen. I do not anticipate – I guess this is the order they were drafted in. So I guess I went David Montgomery with this one, Zeke, Derek Carr, and then I took my wide receivers and tight end last. Cole Kmet, really not excited about that. And then this one, I went Josh Allen first. That was my chalk. So let's back up and see. I did one draft for the New Orleans-Buffalo game. Probably shouldn't surprise anybody here. I'm, essentially targeting as many offensive players as I can from the Bills. I'm not overly excited about anybody on New Orleans. Mark Ingram, questionable, but I think he's trending. So there's no practice activity. I could still see him playing, though. It could be a Tony Jones game. I'm going to make sure to have Tony Jones pretty high up in my swap rankings. Where is he at? I'm going to go ahead and just add him right now. Boom. Save that. All right. So that's enough jibber jabber. Let's go ahead and do a draft. So since I've already done a New England, or since I've already done a stuffing draft, let's do a cranberry draft. I want to do a cranberry draft. I'm going to be on here live streaming for a little while. I'm going to kick back, drink a couple brewskis, blow through some money. Hopefully, we have a good time. If anybody joins the live stream, wants to do some head-to-head drafts, I can drop those in there as well. So let's go ahead, hop on in this cranberry draft. Filled. Boom. We are already off to the races in this one. So I got the 2 spot. I imagine Zeke's going to go 1. They have Waller as the second player, but I'm telling you right now, I'm going to take Jacobs. The volume's not really there, but his receptions, 5, 5, 4, that's what you want from a running back. And Waller has not necessarily been, he gets the targets. He's still good, but he's not a total game changer. Maybe this is folly. Maybe I should take Darren Waller. No, I think I'm going to stick with my gut on this one, at least for this first draft. So we've got 16 seconds. I'll tell you what, I'm going to try to get Pollard on this team too. I know Gallup's not going to fall back to me, but I wouldn't mind starting Josh Jacobs and Pollard from this 2 spot. CeeDee Lamb, what's up with him? No reps, Tuesday practice. To me, that sounds like CeeDee Lamb's trending towards not playing. All right, I'm up. I'm going to go Josh Jacobs. Maybe that's folly. Y'all smash that thumbs up, smash that subscribe button. Looks like I'm up. All right, so we have Waller and Gallup go next. I have a pick, and then I have 2 picks between. So it really comes down to I want the floor of Renfrow, the supposed floor of Renfrow, or do I want to shoot my shot here with Pollard, who is getting touches and does look very good? I am going to err on the side of the Dallas offense, so I'm going to go Pollard. So far I have 2 running backs, Pollard and Jacobs. What's Kenyon Drake been up to these past? I'll tell you what, I'm not drafting Bryan Edwards. You won't see Bryan Edwards on a single one of my teams. Oh, I'm up. All right. Do I want to stick to the running backs? Dalton Schultz, so reliable. I'm taking him. All right, we got one last pick. So far, our team is Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, Dalton Schultz. This is for the cranberry sauce tournament going on this weekend. Single game. We got the Dallas-Las Vegas game on Underdog. Let's see what we get here. Ooh, that would be fun if Kenyon Drake fell back to us. I would really enjoy getting Kenyon Drake here. 3 running backs. I mean, I like that. 3 running backs, you know we're going to get touches. I mean, Brian Edwards, this guy's a bum. No targets last week. Yeah, of course, you, Mr. Mecco, you would take Kenyon Drake. All right, so I'm in a weird spot now. I've heard some Noah Brown chatter, but I like that Zay Jones gets 1 or 2 deep shots a game. I think I'm going to go with Zay Jones. I think Zay Jones is going to shine in a big spot on Thanksgiving Day. So let's take a look at this team. The cranberry sauce, team numero uno, with Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, Dalton Schultz, and Zay Jones. What am I projected? I guess does it say my total projection? 35 points. I guess it doesn't show my projection compared to everybody else in my draft. Really liking Jacobs. The volume hasn't been massive the last few weeks, but again, with the receptions being that high, this being half PPR, and know he's going to get all the goal line work, you know, the only other pick there would have been probably Waller for the chalk. So let's go ahead and fire up another one. Let's go check out the lobby. What do y'all think? Let's do a big slate. Let's get on the turkey. $10, $50,000 in prizes. Let's take home the turkey. You know what I mean? Let's take home the big one. So let's hop in here. Let's see what kind of team we got. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to try to, again, my plan is to leave most of these drafts with David Montgomery as my pivot play off of DeAndre Swift. If there were a way to get DeAndre Swift, David Montgomery on a team together, you know, if I can get 2 of the 3 big running backs on this slate on any on any team, that's what I want. I have managed to pull off, like I said earlier, I showed you guys a David Montgomery Zeke team already. That was dope. But why no Brian Edwards love? Dude, I mean, what's to love? Anthony, my guy, like, convince me. What is there to love about? Or even, you know, Brian Edwards has been so bad. Like, it's not even like Brian Edwards has been like, he's not even flex worthy. You know what I mean? And that's in managed leagues. I'm not trying to put him in a league like this where I got some real money on the line here. I mean, $5, $10, but still, like, I'm not going to throw it away. I mean, my guy. Have you played Brian Edwards with any level of success? They don't use him right whatsoever. Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of a common trend for everything Raiders. You know, they don't draft very well. They don't use their personnel very well. I mean, Derek Carr is what everybody wants Kirk Cousins to be. Bad. Like, Kirk Cousins has always been good. It like almost annoys me that everybody's like on Kirk Cousins now after so many years of slandering the poor guy. He's the same guy he's always been. He just has better weapons now. All right, draft is live. Ooh, got the 101. All right, so I got the 101, which means I will not get to pick again for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 picks. So how are we going to attack this from the 101? I think I'm going to take DeAndre Swift and just kind of see what happens. I don't have DeAndre Swift on any of my other turkey teams. I think I only have 2 so far. And from this one spot, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna see what happens. We'll see how the other players approach this draft. I could take Josh Allen and hope that like David Montgomery falls back to me, or Stephon Diggs kind of slips through there, or even Darren Waller gets through there. I'm going to stick to my guns on this draft. I'm going to do the DeAndre Swift thing on this one, and we'll just see what happens. I already regret it. I really wish I had taken Josh Allen there, but life goes on. This is just for Thursday. Yeah, this is just the Thursday slate. I'm just kind of, this is what I do most nights anyways, just do underdog drafts, sit around in my house, watch Netflix and stuff when I'm not actually creating fantasy content. So I figured I would stream some of these tonight, especially around this particular slate. Because a lot of people play DFS, for the holidays because, we're all watching football on Christmas. Not Christmas, Thanksgiving. Golly. If you guys are tuning in for the first time, please subscribe to the podcast. Links are below. Join the Patreon. The community is growing. We are adding a lot of really cool stuff, content-wise and product-wise. A lot of that's going to be starting. It's already kind of in the works behind the scenes, doing some R&D on that, but should be out before the public, in the public eye, available, for your hard-earned coin. Right around the Super Bowl, I think, is when we're going to launch a lot of this new stuff, bring a lot of new people on. So things are jumping, things are hopping. Let's take a look at this draft. Josh Allen did fall to 3. Zeke and Montgomery go next, with Barbecue Guy 73 pulling off. I love this stack. At the 4 spot, this is probably what I would do every single time. Zeke, Montgomery. Waller goes next. Okay, listen, Dak is in play here. I know all of his weapons are it's a mess though. You know what I mean? Like, I do have some hesitancy to pull the trigger on Dak there. All right, looks like I don't have to worry about it because my guy right in front of me got him. So where am I at? I have back-to-back picks. I went with DeAndre Swift with my first pick. I'm going to take the Michael Gallup, probably the second best wide receiver on this slate, and I'm going to take Mark Ingram. Yes, I know he did not practice, but I don't care. It's Thanksgiving. It's a big spot. All these other running backs are hurt. To get Mark Ingram in the 3rd round, I love that for me. So take a look at this little board like this. Looks like Josh Jacobs went next. Honestly, I probably should have taken Jacobs there. I don't really know what came over me. Now I'm kind of mad at myself. It's okay. You know what? We're not gonna let it kill. We're not gonna let it kill the draft, kill the vibe. We're gonna bounce back. All right, who's still on the board? We still got Pollard up there. Okay, I like that. And since this is a fun slate. This 3-game slate. I really like this. Because it's not just the flex guys. This is fun. Andy Dalton versus Detroit. This could be interesting, right? This could be fun. Derek Carr really has not been doing much for his fantasy managers the past couple of weeks. I can say that as one of them. Trevor Siemian, 26-point game. This guy's done some things. 15, 19. I don't hate it. Gets the Bills. They're supposed to be a really good defensive unit. They are. That does give me some concern. We'll see what the guys leave me here. Who's up? What are we on? This guy has a quarterback. Okay, both guys, the next 2 picks have quarterbacks. So I have my pick of whoever I want at quarterback. There goes Pollard. CeeDee Lamb here as a questionable. I'm still going to take him. I highly doubt he gets cleared, but this is a major value. And if in the off chance he does, I want him on my team. That leaves me with a tight end and a quarterback to take. I am going to take Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket. Hopefully Dalton Schultz comes back to me. Looks like he won't because Barbecue Guy also needs a tight end. I assume that's where he will go Oh my goodness, Dawson Knox still available. Well, cool. Looks like I get to... Nope. He's going to take Dawson Knox now. Okay, I needed to... Okay, I feel like I learned a couple of things in this draft. Yeah, I definitely did. Definitely did. I took Mark Ingram too early. Shouldn't have done that. And I would probably have foregone CD because he might have even come back around and taken Dawson Knox a little bit sooner there because he's probably about to get taken by Barbecue Guy here. And that's going to piss me off a lot because there's probably a whole tier between Cole Kmet and Dawson Knox. That's really upsetting. All right. So he's got another pick to make. Two tight ends? Excuse me, what? This is an interesting... I didn't know we could play lineups like that this week. All right, this slate is very sort of unique, it looks like, the way they're kind of letting us do lineups. I don't think you can do that every week, have the opportunity to play two tight ends. So we're going to be attacking this next draft differently. That's for sure. Do I have any... No. I'm just going to take Cole Kmet. All right. I'm going right back in. I'm going right back in for another one. For the turkey. And I'm going to attack this one totally differently. I'm going to double up on these good running backs if I can. I need to remember that I have the ability to take two tight ends. That is so curious. Waiting. All right. Anybody in the audience have any questions? You guys got any comments? You got any suggestions for the channel? Any content you want to see? I'm chilling. Looks like Anthony's hanging out with us here. He says, you like to stack in these. I mean, I'm supposed to say yes. I don't like tie myself to that necessarily. You can definitely cash without stacking. But, you know, there's, it gives you bigger point swings, you know, so theoretically, if you hit on one, you know, your quarterback, you will hit on, and you can hit on the receiver, you know, you can double up. So, that's kind of the thesis of that. Okay, let's go ahead and prepare a list of players this time. Jamal Williams available on this slate as well. Very interesting. Been a while since we saw Jamal Williams play. Matt Breida, I like him as kind of a late play. All right, let's take a look at these receivers. Man, it's basically Diggs, Gallup, or GTFO, right? I mean, Mooney's limited. Okay, maybe he'll get 16 targets again. Probably not. That would be cool. Man, this is crazy. I am going to make sure that, man, I can play two tight ends. All right, y'all, I might try to double stack these tight ends depending on how things go. Imagine a Waller-Knox team. If I could get like a Waller-Knox, you know, even Hawkinson, he had the targets this last week, right? Yeah, another 8-target week. It's just he never does anything with them. Gets Chicago this week. Their safeties and linebackers are pretty okay. Dawson Knox is definitely. I think what I'm learning right now is if you know, consider punting your wide receivers. If you can't get Diggs, you know what I mean? Interesting. Hit me with any questions y'all got. I'm here to hang, man. Guys, gals, boys, girls, just chilling. Just chilling. I took off work because my son's off school, so it's actually been really nice. Imagine that, not going to your day job, being nice. With your continued support, this can be my day job. So smash that link down there in the description of this show, baby. Get you on Underdog. Let's get rich. All right, you know what? I'm gonna go ham freaking sandwich, and I'm gonna take Stephon Diggs. And I'm going to try. What I'm going to try to do is land one of these really good running backs. David Montgomery would be nice if I could get him at 203. Unlikely, but possible. Okay. That's, these drafts are all very interesting because a lot of different things can happen depending on the people you end up drafting with. But I think I'm going to go two tight ends. So if I can't get the running back that I want, David Montgomery or Zeke, I will go Darren Waller. All right. I have 2 players to get through. There goes Zeke. Come on. And there goes David Montgomery. Okay. So I am going to take Waller here because I'm going to be okay with any of Mark Ingram, Josh Jacobs, or Michael Gallup here with this next pick. Even though my plan originally and kind of still is to go 2 tight end, I feel like having Gallup available to me is something that I need to at least consider. All right, there goes Gallup. There goes Mooney. I'm taking Jacobs. I'm going to take Josh Jacobs. In the 3rd round, why not? He could very well end up being the RB1 of this slate, he said, as he tried to convince himself he was going to make a lot of money this weekend. But all that he really knew was he was going to get fat. Yeah, bro. I'm always all fantasy football, baby. Mostly IDP, all fantasy football. I'll take any fantasy football question you got. If I can answer it, I will. What up, Rugaroo? Happy to have you here, my guy. All right, what we got going on here? Renfro goes next. Lamb, 304 with the questionable tag. Heavy on him. We are up in 1 pick. There goes Emmanuel Sanders. This feels like a little bit of a reach for Manny Sanders. 401. My guy here, the Habs, 3, living risky. All right, Mark Ingram still available to us. Okay, the thesis of this card was going to be 2 tight ends, right? Right? Commit. Am I committed? Is it Hawkinson or Knox? It's Knox. I'm leading with the heart, baby. Leading with the heart. What a fun roster. All right. I got 2 picks left. So I guess I have to take a quarterback, and then I can I have to take a wide receiver or a running back. So curious. All right. Can I take Hawkinson? Can I take another tight end? No. All right. With the way this card is set up, is Goff going to play? You know what? I'm going to take Tony Pollard. Oh, crap. Okay, that's weird. So I guess I had to take a wide receiver, and I didn't. Well, talk about being ill-prepared. I'm not mad at Andy Dalton there, though. I just am starting to see a little bit of the upside of playing Jared Goff. I don't know why I would see it, but I think I thought I saw it for a moment there. Just for like a second, I was like, hey, there's some Jared Goff hope. But then I looked again, and it wasn't really there. All right, let's see what we got. Anybody got them questions for me? My man. All right, what we got here? Adrian Phillips or Ashton Davis? Man, I was talking down on my dude Davis this last week, and he came up with a pick. And didn't Phillips have a pick too this week? I mean, they're both really good plays. Okay. 1 second. I mean, I'll take Amon-Ra St. Brown. No. I'll take Traquan Smith. Screw it. Let's go. Go crazy. What a crazy card. What a crazy team. I'm going to look at this one afterwards for a second. I feel like we could learn some things. Where's my other turkey teams? Lobby, active, completed, turkey. 2 entries. Where are my turkey teams? I just drafted a turkey team. It says I got 4 of them. And I click and it says I got 2 of them. Come on. There we go. All right. So we went Stephon Diggs, Waller, Jacobs, Knox, Dalton, and then we finished it up with Traquan Smith. I like the Traquan Smith. Last 3 weeks, 4, 7, 8 targets. Yards aren't crazy, but I mean, he's like kind of like the main guy right now. Marcus Callaway not really getting it done. So we have both wide receivers from the Saints-Buffalo game. Again, I really like Jacobs. I like David Montgomery more. Going to prioritize him probably in the rest of my battle on my turkey drafts. I have 4 entries so far. And after saying I was going to prioritize my guy, David Montgomery, it looks like I only have him on 1 team. So, need to fix that. Yeah, I'm going to stick with Ashton Davis, Rougarou. That's my that's kind of my thought process there. All right. Let's go back. Let's do another draft. What do you got? What do y'all want to do? Let's save some money. Let's do a cheap draft. Let's do one of the cheap ones. Let's do do we want to do a straight Buffalo, New York? Sure, why not? Let's do it. 20K in prizes, 4.5K entrance. Let's do it. All right, let's take a look here. 10% ranked, no QBs. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, look at you, Tony Jones, at the top of the list. Look at you, Tony Jones. Look at you, Tony. Your 3 attempts for 2 yards. Just look at you. Tony Jones. Back at it again. All right, they might switch to Taysom Hill, so I'm nervous AF. What are you nervous about? Saints fans, I thought y'all had it all figured out down there in the Super City. Taysom Hill, I thought he was good. I saw y'all gave him a bunch more money again, and he's getting paid like 3 different positions or plays or whatever. This dude's a friggin' weirdo. Just play Seaman. Trevor Seaman. I'll never forget, what was it, 3 years ago, Trevor Seaman threw like the first I'm just going to call him Trevor Seaman. You're going to have to deal with that. Trevor Seaman was like the wide receiver or quarterback, like 3 or 4 on the season through like the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season. And everyone's like, oh, Trevor Seaman, it's a real thing. Wasn't a real thing. Yo, somebody hit that link down in the description. Hop on in this draft with your boy. Yeah, I don't like that. I like this. Or even this. Just take me out of it. Who needs me anyway? Just kidding. I'm back. All right. Draft starts in a minute. So I got the 3 spot, so I will get to go back to back. Only 3-man draft? Jeez. What a very tiny draft board. All right. So we're not going to get Stephon Diggs probably ever from the 3 spot. Cole Beasley looks like he's got limited practice. Yeah, I mean, Beasley's kind of let you down a lot this year, straight up and down. He generally does good on Thanksgiving, though. I remember the last 2 Thanksgivings, he's been pretty playable, I feel like, in fantasy. That even goes back to when he's playing with the Cowboys. Who won the Lakers game? I missed the end of it, I guess, because it looks like they put Denver on. All right, there goes Diggs, number 1. Man, having Tony Jones this high is weird to me. That's just throwing me off. All right, I'm up. Mark Ingram goes next. I'm going to go Dawson Knox. And I know it's probably not a very popular play, but I'm going to play Zach Moss just because he's supposed to be the starting running back for this team. And this is a 3-man draft. I just want to load up with as many guys who might possibly do anything. You know what I mean? Matt Breida is in play. I mean, it's anybody that could get any sort of touchdown relevancy whatsoever. You know? I mean, even Singletary's still in play here. This seems like a very weird draft. Cole Beasley, Damian Harris, Gabriel Davis. I would not have taken any of those players ahead of Traquan Smith or Singletary or Breida even. Breida's the highest scoring running back. Okay. Save your spiels for someone who cares. All right. Do I take Traquan Smith? Yeah, I'm going to take Traquan Smith. And I'm going to take Devin Singletary. And is that it? That's my team. Dawson Knox, Zach Moss, Traquan Smith, Devin Singletary. I love that. 3 position players from the Buffalo Bills. Only 1 from the Saints. I like it. I like that team. It's not amazing. It's not elite necessarily. Things could have gone a little bit better, but I don't hate it. Matt Breida is still available on the board here. Interesting. All right, y'all. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do one more turkey because I love the turkey. I'm going to get me a David Montgomery share in this one. That's for darn sure. And I might shut the stream down because I've been going for about, 40 minutes or so. And I might go, do whatever it is people do when they stream an Underdog. I'm with Trevor. Leave Taysom in that Joker role. They did save cap hit next year. Oh, what up, Rue? Talk to me, my guy. I would like to, all right, Byron Jones or Jamel Dean. That's tough. I don't know, man. I'm not really, for corners, I'm not really deep in the corner streets, for real. Especially, I would just pretty much say who you've been trusting recently and who's kind of been working out for you. I think I have one league where I have Dean, but I don't even have any leagues with Byron Jones, so I haven't really been keeping up with him for real. Obviously, I'm replacing my secondary. Yeah, sounds like it's time to clean house, my guy. You need to get you. That's one thing, and I'm straight up. I mean, guys in the fantasy industry, these other IDP guys, love to clown me. But it's like when people ask me corner questions, basically what I tell them is, I'm sorry, I don't understand your problem because I drafted Kenny Moore and Trevon Diggs and Marlon Humphrey in all of my cornerback leagues because I don't like fucking dealing with dumb shit. I mean, that's kind of literally, that was like how I approached it this year. I just took the good guys. I took Diggs kind of like as my sleeper dude, which ended up being amazing. I will say Buda Baker has been pretty crappy. I said on the waiver wire show earlier today, Buda Baker, I mean, you can basically, he's in the bench conversation, even compared to guys like Jerron Kearse, for instance. I would be more than happy to bench Buda Baker for Jerron Kearse. All right, so we're waiting on one more. Guys, gals, boys, girls, anybody watching this, this is the IDP Army channel, but obviously my fantasy football experience, industry, company, brand, whatever you want to call it, is all encompassing. I'm sitting here on my IDP Army channel doing an Underdog fantasy draft, okay? Fantasy football is not one thing to one person. It's a lot of things to a lot of people. It's many things to many people. And depending on what platform you play on, what style you play, whatever it is, I want to help you win. That's why the Underdog show exists. That's why the IDP Army show exists. That's why the Dynasty Tailgate show exists. That's on our podcast feed. That's why the Offensive Points podcast exists. It's on our podcast feed. We're bringing more stuff to you guys soon. The brand is growing. It's getting bigger. I mean, we want to compete. You know, we want to build a movement in the fantasy space where people who play semi-pro fantasy to listen to us and do what we do and suggest what we suggest win. They win money. They win their leagues. They have a good time doing it. Are you putting out a ranking show this week? Man, I don't even know, honestly. I have been struggling to do that this year because I put the rankings on the site, you know, and I much rather talk to people about them than just kind of talk at people. So early in the season, I kind of did emphasize it a lot, but as the season has kind of waned, less people are playing as more people are losing players, etc., or losing their grip on the season. So I haven't been focusing on it quite as much. Man, I got another 101 pick. Oh, this makes me mad because I want David Montgomery. Like, I do not want, if I'm being completely honest, but whatever. I'm taking DeAndre Swift. Screw it. Maybe by some miracle, David Montgomery gets back to me. I did Underdog drafts. I think the earlier in the week you can do them, the better. I think because it's easier to identify. In my opinion, players that people overlook. Oh my gosh, David Montgomery goes at 103. Ah! Anyway, back to my big long spiel. Semi-Pro Fantasy, go follow us on Insta or on Twitter. This video is actually streaming to that feed right now. That's, kind of our parent fantasy company. We are, if you're a fantasy brand that wants to grow a little bit, wants to make a little coin, we're paying people to be brand ambassadors for that brand. We're helping you guys with infrastructure, help you grow. We're getting into some philanthropical, I guess that's the way you pronounce it, stuff this next year, trying to give back a little bit and make sure the guys that are, making the content for us are, being compensated for that and being recognized for that. So speaking of which, shout out to IDP Bomber. Go follow him. Dude's killing it for us in the Discord. He's on top of stuff in a way that I wish I could be on top of. He's doing great work helping me with the index as well. An invaluable piece of the team, and he's always putting out really good IDP content on his channel or on his feed, so go follow him. All right, so I got DeAndre Swift. I'm going to go ahead, double down. I'm going to take the other running back, Josh Jacobs. I think that's the best play for me. here. Now it really comes down to Michael Gallup or Dak Prescott. I'm just going to take the best player available. I think the highest ceiling left to me right now is Dak Prescott. I don't have any Dak Prescott on any of my other teams, so it is good to have a variety of teams to a degree, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back after these drafts and kind of look. The draft spots were kind of weird for me. I got the one spot twice. Was not really anticipating that. That's not usually what happens to me. I usually get a lot of the last pick, honestly. I got 3 in a row the other night on the Battle Royale on Monday night, which that was a whole big thing. I won't even get into it, but I'm big mad because I should have won more money, but whatever. We won't talk about it. Anywho, so I'll just tell you, who's here, who watches this, 3 of the big things we are going to add to our products next year, or our content products are, we have the Ultimate IDP Index, which is, it's tiered IDP rankings. It's got trade values. It's got injury history. It's got snap counts. It's got production profiles. It's got individual player write-ups. It's got contract information. It's got so much information in it. We are building out, or have built out. Oh, I'm up. Okay, I'm going to tell you in 1 second. I'm going to take Dawson Knox. Love him here. CeeDee Lamb still available. Mark Ingram still available. Zach Moss still available. I am going to take CeeDee Lamb just in the off chance that he plays. Probably won't. Oh, so I was going to say, I have built out the infrastructure for a Devy index and a Dynasty index. So we will be launching soon for Patreon members. We'll be adding new tiers. We'll be kind of revamping that, but we'll be offering more than just the Ultimate IDP Index. I'm going to be taking care of the Ultimate IDP Index, and I'll be taking care of the Dynasty Index. And I think, not really sure who's going to curate and watch over the Devy Index. I think Billy might take that over. If you guys have been listening to Dynasty Tailgate, Billy is deep in the weeds of college football. So that may end up being his baby. So if you are in the Dynasty streets heavy, or you're trying to be heavy and you guys want to fuck with us, that's how you're going to be able to do it. That's how you're going to see our rankings, our tiered rankings, get all of our information. I mean, it's gonna blow your mind. And it's not Walmart fantasy, it's not Costco fantasy, this is curated by us, just a handful of guys that really, really give a fuck about fantasy football and really give a fuck about winning. We're not big corporate media giants yet. Maybe we will be someday, and maybe then we'll push out a boring cookie cutter product. But right now, this thing it's what we use to keep abreast of everything in the football world that's fantasy relevant, especially for Dynasty. And I love Dynasty. It's my favorite form of fantasy besides Underdog, because it's long term, All right, so I think I'm going to check out the tight ends we have left. I do not like Cole Kmet. All right, Khalif Raymond. I've been hearing some buzz about him. 1 target. Yeah, no thanks. Give me Cole Beasley. Screw it. Let's go. Yeah, I don't even remember where my last little bit of that rant went. Get out of here. All right. But the Devy Index, if you play Dynasty Fantasy Football, we're going to offer it all. The Patreon tiers will basically we'll have it available where you can just get the Devy Index, where you can just get the Dynasty Index, or where you can just get the Ultimate IDP Index, or they're all going to be rolled into one, which is going to be incredible. I mean, again, it's going to be just like the Ultimate IDP Index, updated all the time, in real time, curated by us here at the, IDP Army, the semi-pro fantasy crew, basically. And we got some really cool brand ambassadors coming on too. Looking into adding an MMA show. If anybody's in that, I used to be super, a little bit about me. I used to be super into MMA. I watched basically I've seen every UFC from 1 to 230-ish. Right when Rousey and McGregor got on the scene, I got a bad taste in my mouth. I was not a fan of Ronda Rousey. I was not a fan of Conor McGregor. And understanding what the UFC is, which is a giant media company, I knew that they were going to push those guys and girl, and they did. And they just weren't the kind of fighters that I felt like they should be promoting. And then the UFC kind of turned into what it is now, which is somewhat of a circus. Gone are the GSP, gone are the Anderson Silva, gone are the Nick Diaz. It's different now. It became about promoting and having big personalities and being, whatever. So be it. But anyway, we're looking at adding a couple of shows around MMA, because I still like MMA. I still enjoy it to a degree. I know a lot of people are very into it, and they're making a lot of fantasy options for it, fantasy games for it, season long and in weekly, daily fantasy. So again, semi-pro fantasy, that's, we're wanting to curate to any and all, fantasy football or fantasy sports, gamers out there. Fantasy sports has, I believe I was just doing some research earlier. It's like 16 million people worldwide play it. And that's not just fantasy football. I mean, that's a lot of other things. Esports, fantasy gaming is getting bigger. Shout out to Underdog. They have that there. Hockey. I mean, there's shout out to Canada. Shout out to the NHL. The basketball. I'm watching basketball right now. I don't have a card tonight on Underdog, but I have done some of their battle royales. They have a different name for them on there for NBA, but it's it's a way for the fans to become competitors in a way, and it's not going away. So we are going to grow with this industry and see what happens. We appreciate you, the listener, the watcher, the supporter of the show, the channel. Every time you click one of these links I tell you to click, every time you leave us a thumbs up, every time you leave us a review, it goes farther than you probably realize. Passive, and everyone out there also just passively watching, appreciate that too. Every view counts at the end of the day, even if you maybe just turned it on and put it on mute. I don't know, maybe forgot about us completely, just skipped right to the next video. It still, it counts. So appreciate that. So anywho, all right, doesn't look like we have any more questions coming in. So I'm probably going to shut her down. Just blew, I don't know, $30-40 on Underdog tonight. Man, I hope we win big, y'all, on Thanksgiving. I'm going to try to get a couple more teams with David Montgomery on them, because, again, somehow I've only ended up with one, and it's driving me crazy. If Josh Jacobs blows up this week, though, fam, we looking good. We looking real, real good. So let's hope, let's pray that we get that one in every 5-week big Josh Jacobs game. We're due one. We are. He's got a lot of positive regression coming. Look it up. All right, y'all. I'm going to shut this stream down. Do me a favor. Go subscribe to the IDP Army channel. Go subscribe to or follow the IDP Army on Twitter. Follow Semi-Pro Fantasy on Twitter. Check out IDPArmy.com for my weekly rankings. Check out the Patreon for the Ultimate IDP Index and soon to be launched Devi Index and Dynasty Index. So, till next time later this week. I mean, I'm again, Rougarou. I might do a ranking show. What is today? I might not, though. Dave and I are supposed to do an Underdog show tomorrow, so we're going to do that. And then, it's going to be Thanksgiving, so y'all probably watch it anyway. So just hit me up on Twitter, man. All right. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Can feel it, thunder in paradise. Can feel it, thunder in paradise. Can feel it, thunder in paradise. Can feel it.
Let the rain hit the sand. Build a house on a rock, got a plan. Gotta get stocks, keep them bands. Hear the clock tick, blades on the fan. Used to be mundane on a Monday. Now you have fun day on a Sunday. busy switching it up, and you living it up. You ain't getting enough.